Hey guys, how's it going? Previously on the channel we've been working on this 1972 Homlite T12. This is the T12 that we started on in the video previously. We took the tractor apart, it was complete. We took the tractor apart, took it down to the frame, split the tractor in half, and currently we were working on stripping stuff down, getting it ready to repaint. And we also have the engine currently sitting in the tractor waiting to come out. And once it's out, get the frame cleaned up, ready to paint, pull the front axle out of it and everything. We're just kind of leaving it together for right now. That way the front axle was on it still and it could hold itself up. Got the transmission sitting behind it right there. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to go on ahead and get this pulled apart the rest of the way. I want to get the engine out of it, and then I also have some stuff I want to go on ahead and get with paint. So yeah, let's go on ahead, I guess, and dig into this thing.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
You ain't. You're
Strong
fine. Keep
like a
going.
tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law.
I thought that might happen.
Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They've been gone a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. 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 When it rains, it pours. Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They say no to sleepless night. Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon. When the sun rises, when the sun we're trying to catch me howling at the moon. Trying to catch me howling at the moon. We're trying to catch
So here's the rear end out of so here's the rear end out of that Homlite T12. I want to go on ahead and see about getting it took apart. I want to get this off of it, and then we got to get this off of it, and then we got to split it and figure out where exactly it's leaking. I think it's leaking from either the gasket or maybe even this, which that actually feels dry, so I'm pretty sure it's coming out of the gasket underneath somewhere. And then I've also noticed that these are broken here, so see about fixing that. I'm not really sure. I think that's cast. I don't think that's, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's cast. So let me grab some tools and let's get that took apart. So hopefully this is the right size that we need for that. I'm assuming it is, yep. So we'll take this off of here first. I'm assuming that this and the pulley can come off as one assembly, but I'm sure. Yeah, I figured it could. But I want to get that off there anyway because when we go to paint it, it'll make it a lot easier. There we go. So now, oh, the pulley moves. I wonder if it will come off easy. I have a feeling that that's not the pulley moving. That's the shaft. It's got plenty of that. So let's see here. Work our way up. Holy shit, that was the right size. Let's see. More than likely not going to be able to do it this way, but give it a shot. That one's gonna go. It doesn't help it neither that it's been in there for as long as it has. So the one thing I wish they did instead of this was put bolts. Make it easier to get to because these are a nightmare to get to, and then you go to get them loose and they bust on you and you're screwed. So let's see if we can get this to come loose. Hope so. Did it break? I think it came loose. Well, it either came loose or something broke. Screw didn't turn. No, it just jumped. Damn, well. So I guess the pulley, get that off there. How do I get that off? There we go. Yeah, I think it jumped. To be honest, that's probably not the best to use either because of the. We should use the one that doesn't have the. this is too big. I'm gonna assume. Okay. There's the round part too, but if we can. There's not really enough room in here to get on it. I just need to get on it so I can get this out. That's really all. One thing I could do, I guess, is turn it and see if that benefits me at all. I know this fits. It's twisting the... No, it's not gonna go. So, yeah, okay. So I guess that can stay on there. We got this part off. See, they should just put bolts in there. That would make it so much easier. So now I guess the next thing that we gotta get is we gotta get this down here off, which shouldn't be that hard to get. And then this in here moves on its own, so. I did come in here last night and oil everything up a little bit to try to help get it to go easier, so hopefully that was in our favor and not a bad idea. Wrong way, idiot. There you go. There we go. Cool. So that should come off. I said that should come off. Try to loosen these up a little bit more. We gotta figure out how to get the hub off on the other side also. That one's got one of these and it's not wanting to play exactly. So let's see here. Maybe that needs another spray. We'll spray it nicely. Then we'll put it back. There we go. See how much easier that moved? As long as I don't hit that and mushroom it, we should be alright. So now, we'll throw a little more on. And that came off further. Came off a little bit further. That's what I was hoping for. And if we can't get it to go further now, another thing I should do, can't really get it to turn. Well, actually, where is the lock on here? There it is. Down is, that's what I thought. You gotta remember though, also when you're working on this stuff, it has not moved in years, you know, so you're kind of at the mercy of whatever you're working on and hoping that it's gonna want to move. So hopefully now with those out, I'm just gonna spray that. Also, I gotta move the camera because you're on an extension cord and I gotta find that thing, which is right there. Move that around a little. Another thing I want to do is I want to fill him, and I want to fill him, and that should put, wish I could get to go a little bit further than that. It's loose, that's all that matters. There we go. We're getting more movement out. Or if we're hitting a ridge. We might be hitting a ridge here somewhere. Maybe. There we go, we're coming off now. I was going to say I'm starting to see light through where that screw goes. There we go. Now we're off. Cool. Yeah, that's nice and clean in there. So now I'm just going to grab a piece of 80 grit sandpaper and clean that up just a little. Or try to. Without sanding off a bunch of material, but I want to clean that up just a little bit to get that off easier. So if my assumption is correct, now this should come off. Maybe. Or maybe not. Oh, you know what? There we go. Maybe. Move further. I wonder. It looks like every time it moves up a little further, hitting on that. I really don't. Well, shit, now I might have screwed it up. Oh, it's a gear. Yeah, we may not want to. Okay, yeah. I didn't even think about that being a gear. Shit. So, yeah, it's what I thought it was. This is on its own independent thing in here. And then that's your differential right there. I really don't want to take that apart if I don't have to. I almost thought about taking it apart. Well, actually, to get this half off so that we can get in there, we're going to have to. Because we got to figure out where this is leaking at. And I'm sure in order to do that, we have to split this case and put a new gasket in there, which I have no clue if they make a gasket for this or even what the part number for this is. That just put me into another situation. This is a differential here. I'm assuming this is attached to a gear. How would that work in there, I wonder? That's free spinning right there. You push it in and it slides into a gear. Do you think it's a big gear around here and that slides in there onto that inside of that gear, or do you think it's a gear in here? I wonder if it's set up like an actual differential in here. If it's set up like an actual differential, like what's in the back of a rear end that would be inside of here, or if it's some other different type of setup, although you can't really. That'd be a really small thing though if that's the case. If it is what I'm thinking it is. I almost kind of want to split it just to see what it is. How would you split this? I would assume here. It also has more bolts in there. I don't know what those are for. I would assume that the ones in here are for, well, oh, actually, you take these out here, and then you take these out. Yeah, because they go all the way through the case back here. Huh. So I wonder why it even has these outer ones then, unless that's for a gasket to keep it from leaking. The thing you got to remember though, taking this apart, is you got to make sure they make the stuff for this still, the seals and everything, because this is kind of uncharted territory, and I don't even know if they make these rear ends anymore or not. I don't think they do. So, great. And there's no information I can find anywhere on what model number this pump is or what model this rear end is, but I have a suspicion that it is the exact same thing as what is in the gear drive units, all except for this has a hydro up here, hydro pump up here where the gear shifter would go, because I have another one of these upstairs. It's a gear drive one, and instead of this being up here, it has the thing for the gear shift, but down here it looks the exact same. I'm almost tempted to throw that in here, but I couldn't do that the way it's set up, because it's 4 forward gears where this is forward and reverse. Well, the way that that gear drive is set up, I can't use it. So yeah, that puts an end to that. It also, I wonder if the case is the same. You know, actually, if the case on that is the same as this, I wonder if we could swap that side plate onto here, and that would fix this problem. Because that looks to be right there's where it meets together. Yeah, sure enough, that's part of this. Let me run upstairs and look at that real fast, and if it is the same, then we'll just commit to taking this all apart and we'll swap those housings. Sound good? Well, I went upstairs and looked at that, and unfortunately it is a completely different case. It does not have these, and this has a thing here that's cut for this hydro. That one upstairs does not have this. So, or that one upstairs, this is one piece. So we couldn't use it even if we wanted to. Now, we could cut it, I'm sure, and make it work, but then you got to seal this up here, and it doesn't have these mounting points here, nor does it have those back there. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, it would have to be a hydro, because this is your disengage for the pump. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure this one out, which actually I might be able to find. I wonder if I could find one of those cases online and order it and have it here. Could do that. Because I mean, we're not going to be able to do this. This is going to have to be addressed. You know, now we could just put bolts and washers in there, but it's already broken. I don't know what broke it. I would assume moving it around with the forklift at the place, and when I got it, there was no bolts. There was bolts there actually, but the thing is gone, and they were so rusted you couldn't tell. So it's been like that for a long time. Even looking at it, you can tell it's not a fresh break. So we're gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna see if I can find something on this, because I'm not really sure if I want to go digging into this one quite yet. I do have the other one upstairs, however, it is the exact same setup up there as this. I'm almost tempted just to bring it down and take it apart, see how it works, and then take this apart and we can go from there. I might have a book in the house on one of these. I'll have to look. And yeah, let me kind of figure out my next moves here and I will come back, because one way or another we're gonna have to split this because it leaks underneath and I gotta figure out where it's leaking from. I did try tightening those bolts up down on bottom and I did notice they were kind of loose, but that didn't fix the problem, so yeah. Okay, let me figure this out and I will bring you guys back once I have something figured out. So after doing some looking around online, I have figured out this is actually the exact same rear end that is in a 917 Alice Chalmers, and they do make parts for it. I was able to find an entire case. I was able to find this entire piece on there for online. I was able to find that, so I'm going to go on ahead and order that. And also, after kind of looking around here, I was not able to find any gaskets for anything or seals. Well, I did find some seals, but no gaskets. However, I think I have decided I'm going to go on ahead and take this thing apart. I was able to find actually this entire case. So if worse comes to worse and we have to, we can go on ahead and just split the whole thing and take the case out and put this pump on that case, move everything from in here into that case, because really the only problem that we have here is the case. The pump works. We've driven the tractor around, so I know that. So I think I'm committed to go on ahead and just take this whole thing apart, and it seems like all it really entails is take these bolts out here, take this out, and then just separate it. Inside of here is exactly what I thought it was. It's a gear on the back of this. I saw it while I was looking through there. It's a gear on the back of this like I thought it was, and there's spider gears in here that go around it, and that's what drives everything inside of here. I didn't see how this is inside, but I saw that, so we'll have to be mindful of that, I guess, while we take that apart. I'm not sure if this comes off here as a separate piece or not, or if it's attached to that, or how exactly that works. I guess we'll have to figure that one out, because this will have to come off here to get that off anyway. I almost just thought about finding this whole thing, just take that hydro pump off and move it onto a different differential, which, to be honest with you, we could do. So let's take this apart, and if we can't figure it out, we'll just go on ahead and do that. Let me grab a 7/16 socket. But it is nice to know that there is an option out there if we end up getting to where we're going to have to go a different route. Should have grabbed that 7/16 that I was just staring at a minute ago. So now let's just see about taking this apart. You know, I have a magnetic tray that I got. Why am I not using that? I've had this out here for a long time, and I haven't really used it all that much. So let's just go on ahead and use it. So those are the bolts from here. We'll have to go through and we got to get the thing off on the other side also. I'm not sure if the housing's cracked anywhere. I don't think it is. That's the only reason I can think of that it would be leaking. To be honest with you, I should just swap it. Just put a different rear end in it, you know, and save this one for extra stuff. It is nice to know that there was something else that this was used in, and it wasn't just exclusive to this unit. I like them 917 Alice Chalmers. I think that's what my neighbor had. He either had that or he had a gear drive Alice Chalmers. I really liked it. I almost bought it off of him. This was a long time ago before I got into the tractors. He had it in a Cub I was going to buy off of him, but for some reason I didn't. Oh, I think Dad had kind of told me, well, this was back when Dad was still around. He didn't care, but he kind of didn't seem all that interested. Although looking back now, I wish I'd have got him. Or no, I went to get them and they were being loaded onto somebody's truck already. So that's why I didn't get those. Somebody had gotten to them before I did. Because I kind of waited. So. So there we go. Those are all out of it. So now we got to get the ones out that are on the inner row. Hopefully they shouldn't be that bad. Are these even 9/16? Yeah, they are. Really? Keep that in there? See if we can get this to loosen up. Before someone, I can't even get the wrench on it. Damn. That's a really tight gap in there between the... I doubt they put these in there with a wrench from the factory. I wonder how they did it. They probably took this out. Which I'm not sure if you even... That's rubber. Wait a minute. You know, I wonder if that would pull out. It's just a rubber seal in here. Well, I didn't really want to pull that out, but I guess I just did. Actually, yeah, right there's your gear. Hell, it might pull out. Keep that in mind. Yeah, I can't get in there with that. We can get this thing to just come out easy. If we can, then that's what we want. Oh yeah, it's coming out. Cool. Alright, so we'll just swing that over like that. It's kinda... It feels like it's fighting me somewhere, but I don't really think it is. Yeah, it's coming off. Yeah. The thing that has me really nervous is I don't want this falling on the floor. And this is cast, you know, so I really don't want to break it. I have another hub upstairs if we need it, but I don't like doing that. we're getting it back, which is good. Yeah, see, there's your gear. That's what drives it. It's coming off though. Maybe what we should do, it can help us any. Spray some oil in there. I think it just ends, it's keyed. Maybe, I don't think it is actually, but I thought I saw a keyway in there. It might be for something else. Let's send it back down and then we'll pull it back, and hopefully sending it back down will benefit us. It's times like this I wish I had a puller out here. That's flat. So now, I pulled it easy. It did. No, I don't want to. Should be really using a dead blow hammer, which, yeah, I agree. I know someone's thinking that right now, or commenting it, or saying something. Just going until it looks like it's starting to get harder. We'll spray it down and send it back. I'm fairly certain so I know what we're hitting on. There's a brass thing up here in the front, and I'm assuming that that's supposed to act as some kind of bushing. There's a brass thing in the back. I'm fairly certain, judging by the fact that it's catching. So right here, and where's the other one? Right there, I think is what we're hitting on. Right there is where those set screws went into the shaft. It seems to like to hang, yeah, see, it hangs up at that point. And like I said, there's that brass bushing there. That's my theory. I think that's exactly what we're having happen, is we're hitting this point. So we have to sand that down, and I think once we sand that off, or not off, just down, flat like that, we should be able to go over it now. Obviously after we get the other side sanded down too. And I know I should have thought about that sooner, but it didn't even dawn on me that that's what was happening. See, there's the other one right there. We'll just sand these two down. And that should fix our issue. There we go. So let's see if that leads to our success. No. Oh wait, it did. Maybe. Okay. Well, cool. Look at that. I was right. Ha! Got it. Yeah, see? Like I thought, and there's that brass bushing, and up at the front also, and yeah. So, it's exactly what I thought it was we were hitting on. So, alright, that makes it easier for me. So that takes care of that problem. So now we gotta get the gears and everything. We gotta separate this. And actually, I don't think that this has any oil inside of it, so I don't think it needs a gasket. What I think it has is there's a grease fitting back here. There's a grease fitting in the front. What I think it is this fills up with grease, and that's what lubricates everything in here. That has oil on it, I know that, because I've had to put oil in it for it to go to the pump. That should be drained and empty and leaked everywhere by now, you would think. So now, and you can even see it right there where that bushing has been, and in there also you can see where the bushing has been inside that gear. So as this right here doesn't look great, and that right there is nice and clean, and there's a groove. There's kind of a groove there, not a horrible groove, but there is a noticeable groove. I wonder if we can get a socket on there now, or if that's still too far in, or if that's still too small of an area to get a socket on. You would almost need a really thin socket to get on that. Where is, I know I had one up here, that's 7/16. Thought I had it, man. It's on a ratchet. Where's that ratchet? There it is, over here. Let's see if we can get this on here or not. Well, we can. So we'll throw this guy on here. And we'll grab our 9/16 wrench. They're not reverse thread, are they? Or is it just the fact this battery's dead? And also, while I'm thinking about it, there's going to be bearings inside those bolts, I'm sure. They might even be reverse thread. Maybe not. Let's try this, because that does not have the balls. Let's go this way and see if they're right hand or left hand thread. It's kind of tight. Let's see if we can get this guy out of here. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's see if my theory is right and the gear will fall once I let this go. Can't get on that in there. Now I can. So let's get that guy out. Those are lock nuts, I bet. I didn't hear it fall. But I see that, and that tells me there's definitely something in there. I'm gonna feel around. There's no lock washer on it, which is actually surprising. I don't see a lock in there for it to be a lock nut, so, Okay. I'm gonna leave that on there and grab another 9/16 and just throw it on that ratchet, maybe a thinner one. Let's try this guy and see if he gets it loose or not. I think it was this one that we were trying to get. There we go. It's going up the row. Then once we get all these loosened up, we'll come back with the impact and get them So now we have those all done. We'll just go on ahead and zip them out. Is this one up here? Come on, for Christ's sake. This one up here. I'm either expecting oil to come out, or that's probably that WD-40 I was spraying in it earlier because something's draining out. I think all we did was these four over here. There was probably some kind of gear oil in there, I would assume. I wouldn't think that would be empty. I'd expect it to have grease in there at least, which it looks like it does, actually. I should have done that from the beginning. That made it easier. Just pulling it all the way through. Didn't even realize that one hadn't come out yet. Here's our last three. Let's see if we can get them out. Bolt number one. Bolt number two. There we go. And bolt number three. And of course the last one has to be the pain in the ass. Maybe it'll come off with this. No. Wondering where that was. I doubt I'm going to be able to get it with this, but we'll try it. There we go. Cool. So now we'll have to get all of them out of there, and yeah. There we go. Yeah, see, that made it easier. At least in my opinion. Yeah, there are indents in them. That's why they're difficult to turn. They have stoppers in them, or lockers, or whatever the hell they are. Okay, so all these gears, I am assuming, are about to start falling out. So we're going to have to keep that in mind as we separate this. Watch me figure out we don't even need to separate this. Alright, so now let's see what's inside. Alright, drum roll please. So it is full of grease. What the hell's that? Okay, so it is what I thought it was. It does fill up with grease. Huh. Okay, wow. That's actually pretty cool. So this gear in here didn't feel like it's missing any teeth. I'm gonna take this in here and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went over there and I cleaned up my hands. Got them all out. Yeah, see, this thing is filled with grease. Okay, so this just turns. Huh. Okay, so how do you get... Oh, it just goes over the gear. Ah, so it's a hub. I will admit, the smart thing to have done in this situation, since I had no clue what was under here, it would have been to take apart the other one that we don't really need to see how it works. But actually, that worked out in our favor pretty well because it was exactly what I thought it was. So, what my idea of it was they had spider gear, was the hub having the gear on the back of it, but the thing that I was trying to figure out was, if that's the case, where are the spider gears? Because you'd have to have spider gears in there for it to catch on to, for this to move and everything, which actually they were right on the hub, which that makes sense, or which they were inside of here on all those bolts, which that makes sense as to why those bolts were all there. They were holding those gears, which actually, that was a pretty good idea, to be honest with you. And the next thought of mine was, well, okay, what holds this assembly together where there should be a gasket, because wouldn't that be filled with fluid? And actually, no, it's not full of fluid. It's the grease zerk over here is what you use to grease all of this, and also the one that you use to grease this spindle, or the hub over here. That's what does that, and it also greases itself because it's got that thing in there. Supposedly this is a limited slip differential. I have no clue how that aspect of it would work, but moving it around and seeing the way that it moves itself kind of tells you everything you really need to know. So that's pretty cool how they have it set up, and as you can see, I'm turning it, well, now the other piece isn't on here, but still, with the other thing on here, I was turning it and it was turning that side also. So that's one way to tell if you have a limited slip differential or an LSD or not, is you take it and you spin it. You spin this side of the shaft and that side of the shaft by the hub, and if that hub over there starts turning the same way you're turning this, that means you've got a limited slip differential. If it doesn't start turning the same way, it goes, let's say you turn it this way and that side goes that way, that means that you don't have a limited slip differential. There's a way to tell, there's not a way to tell. That's the way that I was told and kind of figured it out. But if there's a better way to tell, let me know down below, because I have no clue. Leave me a comment about it. So, I doubt anybody's watched into the video this far, but who knows. So, that's kind of where we're into right now on this. I guess the next thing that we'd want to take off is we'd want to take the brake drum off. We got to figure out how to get the rest of this assembly off of here, and how to get this off of here, which it looks like it's just a ring. Oh, it's one of those rings, like what holds the starter gears on. That should be pretty easy to get off of there. So these are not the right ones for doing this, however, never mind, maybe they do work. So how come every time that I've tried to use them, they never do? Maybe it's because this is smaller. I'm usually working on the ones for the starters, which actually this is bigger than those, I meant to say. Not smaller. What was I thinking? Smaller. More room here to bite onto. So I want to slide this. I absolutely do not want it going back that way. So don't even think about going back that way. Does this move on its own with that? Yes. Yes, it does. Good. You know, actually, can we get this to move forward and use that to push this up? Remember how this goes back together, because I won't. Then we'll be figuring it out. How does this thing go back together? Okay, let's see. One thing I might do is I might swap this out for a ear one. Well, actually, maybe not. I might. No, leave it alone. Leave it what it is. No reason to go changing a bunch of stuff, you know. Man, why are you being such a damn prick? I will say though, that did come apart a lot easier than I was expecting it to. There we go. So now we're hitting the point that I kind of figured that we were going to hit sooner or later, which it looks like we actually worked our way over it nicely. There we go. Now here's the point I'm afraid of, is I hope this ring doesn't go flying across the shop. Oh, it didn't. Good. Yeah, that's what we were fighting. This is keyed, I bet. Where is that at? Moving shit around, I can't find nothing. There we go. So now you better not have trouble getting over those too. I'm gonna sand them down more, I think, because they're gonna need it. If I'm having this much trouble getting stuff over top of them. And I assume, I wish that wouldn't have done that. And I'm assuming that that has to be at a certain thickness, and this is probably gonna be a pain to get out of here too. Oh, actually, I can't get it out because I gotta take these keys out. So, oh, okay. So remember, that end right there faces forwards, out towards the hub. Same with this side. Those face out towards the hub. Oh, that goes inside and moves things around. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Shit. I might not be able to get that off there without splitting the housing. Which I kind of expected that. There we go. That'll come off though. So I guess if this will come off, then we'll just go on ahead and take it off. There we go. There we go. Nice. So I'm going to clean myself up, and then we will come back and get this off, and then we will go on ahead and see about splitting that. That'll be interesting. Okay, so now that we have that apart, we want to figure out what size I'm assuming it is going to be 5/8. No. 11/16. Yep. Okay, so is this going to come loose easy? Probably not. Never mind. Oh, it's a nut. I was not expecting that. There we go. So right there. So actually, there we go. So yeah, now I'm pretty sure there's a bolt on the other side. That's what I thought. So now I'm pretty sure that we could go on ahead and go around and start loosening things on here and get this taken apart. So let's go on ahead and see about getting this off. I already took this one bolt out that was over here that was giving us some problems. So we need to get the other one, and now that I look at it, actually it almost looks like that bolt holds the pump on, which I think it does. Well, we might be taking the pump off. Oh boy, I hope that doesn't cause any problems. Yeah, we loosened the pump. Are we even going to be able to get it off because of this? Oh boy, that could be interesting. Find out. Inside looks clean, tell you that much. May not be able to. Oh, we can. Oh, perfect. Wow, that's heavy. Holy shit. There we go. Bet you that's where all the weight was from. Whoa, that changed the look of this thing completely. Okay, wow. So that's where it goes in right there. That looks pretty clean. Huh. Okay, well, that really changed the look of things, didn't it? It's a lot smaller now. So this right here is the engagement. Oh, I see how it works. Huh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's just a gear. This moves the gear back and forth, and that gear goes up against the gear that goes to the pump, and that's what engages and disengages it. That's actually pretty cool. I wondered how that worked. So yeah, okay. So I guess now we go on ahead and get these bolts out. I was not expecting that, but I guess that makes sense. The fact that that would take the pump off. So, okay, neat. So I'm probably about to make the biggest mistake in my life in assuming that there is no fluid in here anymore and all of it is drained out, because it's probably going to drain all over my floor. So we want to take all of these bolts out. These are what hold the two halves together of the case, and we are going to put them in our little thing over there. These actually might be 1/2 inch, they may not be. 9/16. Doing that. There's one. There's two. There's a 3. Doesn't seem like we're missing any, so that's a good sign. So keep in mind where the long ones come out of. That way we can put it back together easier. That's a short one. This thing's gonna be fun to separate, I'm sure. Just gonna put it in there so I can loosen it like that. There we go. And then we'll come over here, knock this guy out. I haven't seen any fluid start coming out. I haven't seen it separating either, so I'm thinking my theory is correct and there is no fluid in it. Watch me be wrong. Alright, so now as we pull on this, this needs to separate, which actually it moves independently from this shaft. You know, I wonder, do that? No, it won't. But it moves everything. Okay, this doesn't have anything in it that I need to be concerned about. No. There are no bolts lurking around anywhere that anyone sees, because I don't see any. No. Alright. So I guess let's get this separated. I'm not worried about this half. I found another one. We're just gonna roll with it, and plus this is already broken, so I mean, although I'm not gonna trash it because you never know, I might be able to use it. Trying not to cause any damage, as I do not know exactly how this thing is laid out inside. I do know, however, there is now fluid coming out. Oh shit. Remember how I said there was no fluid in it earlier? Apparently I was wrong. There was fluid in it. So now we have to figure out, what do we stand this thing up on I guess it's self. It stayed, okay. Let me find a tin or something I can empty that out into. So let's get this guy back down. And we'll let this drain. I mean, at least we know there's a good part in that gasket. The fluid coming out looks really clean, actually. So we'll leave that jammed in over there. I'm gonna grab right over there, I grabbed a scraper. Let's see if we can get in here and get this separated a little bit better. Trying to be careful and mindful that in here somewhere there's a thing. I haven't hit it yet. However, I just know that there's a thing in there somewhere because it has to be able to not. That's one thing I like to do instead of just pry on them, is get into it with a scraper, which I don't see any more fluid coming out, so I think we got all of it out. So if it wasn't leaking out of here, then I wonder where it was leaking from. Because the bottom of that was always soaked. We'll have to throw it in the parts washer and figure it out. Let's get this guy off of here. There's still a little more coming out. Looks like automatic transmission fluid. I think we should be able to pull. Not yet. We're not to that point quite yet. We still got a ways to go before we can pull the two halves apart, it looks like. Trying to be out of the way of the camera. Well, we have it apart actually. Yeah, we have it apart. It's just sitting on itself right now. Yeah, I have the two halves separate. Okay, so we have to be mindful of this thing. We got to figure out what that hooks up to. Because at the moment, I have no idea what that hooks up to. Oh. That's... maybe... You know what? If it's... Yeah, it's just a straight shaft all the way through. We could do that, actually. That's not a bad idea. I'm just going to go on ahead and do that. And that's, I guess, how we'll get that off. And maybe doing that, we can drop that. Have we stopped draining fluid finally? Please tell me that we have. I think we did. That looks like automatic transmission fluid, which I know this doesn't have in it. Huh. Interesting. Actually, maybe it does. Maybe it does, and I just don't know. I think there was a little bit of fluid in it. I'm sure there was when I got it, but I drained the majority of it out, I thought. I know I remember making sure there was no fluid in it when I first got it before I put more fluid in it. No. Get that on there even if I want to. Getting it past the wiring is the shitty part. There we go. And I think we are past it. Maybe. What we're hitting on right now, though, is what I'm trying to figure out. Is there something deeper in? Let's see. There we go. All right, so now let's pull this up a little. We can just pull it all the way through now. I'm pretty sure it's going to catch. I really don't know what I'm yanking on here. We're past that point. Okay, we're at this now. So, I don't want to hurt the building. There's plastic on the floor, so we're not leaking everywhere. This thing I can assume has some weight, so we gotta be mindful of that. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay, cool. There we go. We got him all apart. I was not expecting that to be just a piece of tube steel, but I guess it is just a solid round stock, not tube steel, round stock. So, cool. Alright, that's hooked up to there. Cool. So now we need to separate these two halves, and actually that part can be painted. Need to find something to set this on. I'm thinking a brick. If I can find a brick to set that on, I can get it straight up, so that way that'll make it easier to get the what are we thinking here? Get it up on a brick, so that way this is standing straight up, nothing in here will fall, because I'm pretty certain that there are other gears inside of here. There's got to be stuff in there that goes to that, I'm pretty certain. So we got to be mindful of all of that. That hub on that side won't come off, so I guess we're just going to leave it on there. Paint it. I'm not going to paint the axle, but we'll do that. Let me look around and see if I can find a brick. I know I have bricks around here. It's just a matter of, are they concrete filled, or are they, what type of bricks are they also? So let me see if I can find one real quick. The camera stopped recording on me. I have no clue where you guys were at. So I'm just gonna kind of address everything that I have done. I got the two case halves separated. We figured out this right here actually comes off of that shaft right there, and I've been kind of hitting on it, trying to get it separated, and in the process of doing that, oiling it up. So, but we got these two halves separated, and I was just sitting here looking at it and thinking this is beyond my skill set when I looked up and saw the camera wasn't recording. So that's currently where I'm at right now. But this comes off, so we're just kind of trying to get this off for right now. There we go. I think we got it. There we go. So there's our hub. One of many hubs. And then this here, I don't know. I really should take the keys out. There's one. Okay, remember the curved side goes out towards the hub. Same with this one over here. I'm gonna have to do some organizing up here because everything is just kind of all over the place, which I don't like having that. This is, please tell me that's not a snap ring. It does not seem to be. It just seemed to be a snap ring. Actually, it doesn't seem to be anything. Yes, it is a snap ring. Damn. Oh well. We got the one out earlier. We should be able to get it out. Hopefully. Simply. Okay, so now I am going to do what I wanted to do earlier, and I'm going to shove a screwdriver in here. Shit. Damn it. Step one of being a tractor expert is do not expect things to go easy, especially when you have the tools that you want to shove in there, because guess what is not going to happen? You are not going to be able to get it to move when you are holding the tool in your hand, but when you're not holding the tool in your hand, it will want to move easily. Mechanicking 101. See? Now I'm going to put that down, and I bet it will. And I'm going to get it up here and it's going to slip, right? No. Surprisingly not. So now I want to go, I'd really like to just go all the way around it and just free it up. But I'm probably not going to be able to make it all the way around and keep the shit. Let's try and get it from the bottom this time. That's what I should have done. I just wanted to get it under it earlier. Did I ever mention I hate these a lot? These pins. There we go. That moved it. Hopefully now I should be able to get one of these two halves to move. Both would actually be super nice. Fuck. Motherfucker. There we go. So if I can get it over top of that, that's where we need it. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to grab another screwdriver, a smaller one, because I want to get in here and actually get around, or get this up if I can. I wonder if the camera is picking that up. I'm sure it is. It's pretty loud. There we go. Bastard. They're trying to fight. So, which way is this going to go? Is this going to go up or is this going to go down? And also, I guess the other thing I should be asking myself is, what was the purpose of that snap ring? Or was it, oh, it was to prevent something from, it was to prevent that from going back too far, I bet. I probably didn't even need to take that off. I'm going to pull this grease zerk What do you think the chances are that grease zerk is there to grease inside of this transmission? I kind of had that feeling. Although you got to put fluid of some type in it for the pump. So I don't know. There we go. We're hanging up on something. What are we hanging up on in here? Can't be anything really. Unless it's just how shitty this is. I think we're off. I think we're off of whatever it primarily was. Where's the hammer? There it is. Ta-da! Behold! The inside of a transmission. There's a bearing in there. There we go. Got it. Mine. My prize. Okay, so let's take a look at this, and everything for the most part should be where it goes. Yes, this is your gasket. Okay, that is what we need to find. Shouldn't be that terrible. I'm gonna set this over here. Yeah, that's kind of wet. At least it came off in one piece. That's good. So, okay, I see. This is actually pretty simple. Looking at it, it's just this big bowl gear in the back, and this gear goes to there. That's what drives the transmission right there. That's actually pretty neat. Oh, well, this gear is supposed to be up here, actually. It fell down. No, it's not. Something else goes right there. This is... Here's your other gear. I'm assuming that's for the brake. But it fell. Or actually, something goes through there, and whatever goes through there goes somewhere. I think that might actually be for... Well, let's flip the other half of it around, I guess. Let me clean off my hands. I'm not touching that camera until I do. And once I do that, we can go on ahead and grab the other half and flip it over and see what it looks like. So I have not looked under it yet. However, let's go on ahead and let's take a look at what is underneath of the cover on our transmission half. Ready? Drum roll, please. Okay, so it's basically what I thought it was. Right there's here's your engagement. That's your lever that engages and disengages. That's actually pretty neat. And I wonder if that other gear that we found, I bet that goes on there. There's a shim on the other side of it, so I gotta be careful. I don't want to lose that shim. Yep, it goes on there. And then this, that's engaged, that's disengaged, engaged, disengaged. Huh. So it's the gear inside, that one right there, that engages and disengages power. This is from the pump. This is what powers it from the pump. And then it goes, this is your brake right here. This goes into your brake assembly down there. And then this goes out to power the transmission. That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, this comes in from the pump. That's actually really neat how that works. So yeah, there we go. I guess we figured it out. So I'm gonna go on ahead and order that other half, and once I go on ahead and order that other half for the transmission, we will have to go on ahead and get this thing all put back together. But I think we're gonna go on ahead and cut the video here. We're gonna cut it on a good note. I've been working on stuff around here. I haven't had a video to upload yet because, well, everything I'm working on right now is waiting on parts, and of course, you know, waiting on stuff and other things to be done. So it's just kind of, well, what do I put up first? So I guess we'll go on and put this video up first. We'll end it on a good note because, well, we've gotten this transmission apart and we found the other half for it. So there we go. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it's your first time checking out my channel, please consider going down below, hitting that subscribe button. And leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think, because nobody really ever comments on these videos, and commenting on the videos helps me out because it helps me know what you guys like and don't like, and what you want to see and what you don't want to see. So leave me a comment down below and we'll go on ahead. It'll help me out a bit, and I don't know, I like interacting with you guys, so let me know. Till then, thanks for watching, and I will catch all of you hopefully in the next video. Take care, guys. So really quick before I end the video, I want to try something. I want to see if I can just pop this. No, I can't. No, because it's got that other ring down on bottom. Never mind. We'll have to pull that ring out before we can take that apart, I guess.